Ya.
Wah, cantik sekali Mbak Rina. Oke.
Aku salah pakai kostum. Aku kostumnya pink.
Selamat pagi Francis, selamat pagi Rina.
Selamat pagi.
Ya Rina, kita udah Francis is here, interior designer Sirajil Fahmy is here, Dr. Professor Tajuddin Ismail also here. I think we should start now. Okay, let's move on.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Daniel, okay. All right. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello and very good morning. Welcome to the International Design Lab and Competition of Titik Temu, final design presentation. Today is the day that we have all been waiting for. Throughout this couple of weeks, we have witnessed vigorous brainstorming and mentoring session happening between students and mentors from Malaysia and Indonesia. On behalf of the organizing committee, thank you for your cooperation and commitment in this program. We hope all of you had fun and learned new things from each other. My name is Zarina, and I will serve as your moderator for this session. First of all, a brief introduction. The International Design Lab and Competition is a collaborative program between Himpunan Desainer Interior Indonesia and Centre of Studies for Interior Architecture, University Technology Mara, Malaysia. The program aims to engage, exchange ideas, embrace diverse creative and innovative knowledge between professionals, educators, and students. This program consists of a series of design lab and mentor-mentee session, which commence on the 6th of September 2021 until today. Together with UiTM, we have 8 other universities from Indonesia participating in this program. Altogether, there are 10 groups of participants, and each group consists of 4 students as mentee, 2 from Malaysia and another 2 from Indonesia, together with 2 respective mentors from both countries. In addition, we are pleased and blessed for the opportunity to have 3 international speakers from Italy, the United Kingdom, and the United States of America for our webinar session to share their thoughts, ideas, and knowledge. Today, all groups will present their ideas and design solutions towards the theme, interior design in an endemic. In response to the brief, each of the participating group were tasked to design an intervention or a spatial configuration of a new space model. Within a maximum of 40 square meters, solutions needs to respond to the health and safety aspects of living in an endemic. Each design solution will be evaluated based on, first, rigorous research, second, the fundamental of social and environmental impact, third, system thinking inclusive of problem, process, and proposal, fourth, creativity and innovation, fifth, viability, and last, verbal presentation and composition. Now, moving along to our session, today we are proud and deeply honored to have these 4 individuals as our judging panel. Each judge were selected due to their vast experience, integrity, and in-depth knowledge of the design industry. Without further ado, let me introduce you to the panel judges. Please welcome Ms. Rina Renville. She is currently the head of Himpunan Desainer Interior Indonesia, HDII. She is also the founder of the Steel Cipta Kreasi and Anya Furniture, a designer collective with a passion in furniture as well as Loka Deco and Interior Indonesia Designer, a collaborative project to showcase local designers' work. Next, we have Mr. Francis Sujasaputra. His work brings together eclectic ideas and thoughtful practicism to create buildable, impressive interior projects for progressive clients. Mr. Francis is a former chairman of HDII and now currently serves as a board member for Yayasan Ronald McDonald House Charities in Indonesia. He has participated and organized many exhibitions and installations locally and abroad. Mr. Francis also has won numerous awards for his work in internationalizing local culture, material, craft, and identity. From Malaysia, we have Datuk Professor Tajuddin Ismail, known as a prolific artist in making visual manifestation of his intellectual journey. He has over 40 years experience in designing complex, high-profile projects that span all sectors. His work reflects his experience, worldview, spiritual values, sensibilities, dreams, and self-identity. Datuk Tajuddin served as our associate professor at CSIA until 2004 and is co-founder of TJ Fine Art Gallery in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And last but certainly not least, we have Mr. Sirajil Fahmy. He is an interior designer with over 20 years of extensive experience working with design worlds. His forte is designing and delivering successful hospitality projects in the States, the Middle East, and India. He has won numerous hospitality awards for his work with design worlds in designing interiors that respond to the relationship between man and the environment, bringing forward objects and spaces of local craft and identity into luxurious manifestations. Thereupon, to all the respectful judges, welcome. Kindly be informed the committee has appointed 2 reviewers at the end of the judging session. They will review all presentation and reflect in the works presented. The reviewers are Ms. Naila Janika, an interior designer from Indonesia, and our Associate Professor Technologies, Dr. Rostam Yaman from UiTM. So we go back to today's program, which will be divided into 2 sessions. The first 5 groups will present starting at 10:45 a.m. continuously until 12 p.m. Malaysia time, 1 p.m. Indonesia time, 11 p.m. Indonesia time, sorry. Then we will break for lunch and Zohor prayer. At 2 p.m. Malaysia time, we will continue the judging session with the remaining 5 groups. At approximately 4 p.m., when all judging session has ended, we have scheduled a 3rd webinar by Miss Julie Ross from the Instituto Marangoni, London. She will be presenting her insight on interior design in an endemic era. So stay tuned for that at the end of the session. So before we start our judging session, here are the ground rules for each participating group. Each group will have a maximum of 10 minutes to present their work. 5 minutes will allocated for Q&A, question and answer, or comments from the judges. Our timekeeper, Miss Sarah, will ring the first bell at 5 minutes. A second double bell will be given to indicate that the time is up. Participants must immediately conclude his or her remarks when the double bell is rung. Time of the essence, therefore, unfortunately, dear judges, the timekeeper will ring a third 3-bell notification to indicate the end of Q&A session. So ladies and gentlemen, in order to avoid any disturbances during the presentation, we would like to kindly ask you to change the mode of your gadgets or screen into silent or mute. Thank you for your consideration. So we will start our session in a minute. So hold on to your seat and enjoy the event. With that, to all the participants, we wish you all the best and good luck. So we will begin our first session. Yeah? So, okay. We will begin our first session of the final design presentation with group number 10. And for your information, all group has been formally selected for today, and each group has been informed the sequence of the presentation schedule. Therefore, each subsequent group, please be ready for presenting. Hence, group number 1, please stand by. So, group number 10, are you ready?
Yes,
10?
madam.
Okay. To group number 10, you may start your presentation. All the best.
Puan Zarina, may I request to try bell, the first bell, the second bell, and the third bell once
Oh,
again?
sure. Okay.
May I ask Puan
Miss Sarah?
Sarah ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this would be the first round, the bell sound.
That indicates 5 minutes up.
Yeah. The second round would be
That indicates the time is up.
this
third
is
bell?
the third round.
That is a notification to indicate the end of the Q&A session.
All right. Thank you very much,
All right.
Sarah and Zarina. Thank you.
No problem. So we go back to group number 10. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. The screen is yours.
All right. Dennis? Dennis, close the top left. Info screen. Okay. Selamat pagi and hello everyone to the judges, panels, lecturers, mentors and fellow friends. My name is Muhammad Hadi Iskandar bin Zawawi and my representative partner from Indonesia, Dennis Edward, Dafa Faras and Nick Christina. We are from group number 10. We are going to present Transportation Hub, your future smart bus shelter for this competition. Next slide. So the issues, station primary issues were related to its long-term sustainability and functionality, COVID-19 as well as any other present received little to no protection for the station. The station only served one purpose, leaving the remaining space was less. So the current one and the previous one that still have not recovered for the protecting people from COVID-19. So we are going to propose the smart bus shelter that we friendly to people to keep them protected from the virus. So we are going to three type of dimension for our issues to the social, environment, and economic. So the social one is because the improper flow user and activity that happen to the current bus station and it's not COVID-19 and disabled friendly, like I mentioned before, and lack of security, homeless takeover, promotes vandalism. So these issues, we make the people feel uncomfortable to the bus station because of this aspect. For the environment dimension, lack of protection from air pollution, from the vehicles, uncomfortable sitting, and lack of sustainable features. For the economy dimension, lack of advertisement, signage for product placement that enables audience to develop a stronger connection with the product. Existing design incompetence contributes to low public uses. So the recent one, there is no proper signage for them to advertise their business and products. So there will be the advertisement stickers everywhere, so they will be so hard to see and make the bus station look bad. So the process is a bus station located in Kuala Lumpur Chinatown. We choose the bus station Pasar Seni near to the Sri Maharamian Temple has been selected as our meeting point. We made a site visit to observe the station and learn that the issues revolve on social, environmental, and economic factors. So the further research and observation, we create a diagram. We list out the strategies, catch the ideas, and we're able to propose more solutions. After through the discussion with the mentors and the group members of designing a sustainable and modular bus stop. So, going to the design proposal, we are going to propose a sustainable and modular bus stop to tackle the social environmental problems, like the previous aspect that I said, that occur at the station. A sustainable design will protect users from external factors such as COVID-19, obviously, and keep the environment healthy. The modality allows the station to function in various ways to adapt to every situation. So we come up with a solution throughout the dimension that I presented. For the social dimension, provide a proper flow to the user activities such as e-scooter rental and installation, provide COVID-19 safety kit, like a vending machine that provide the hand sanitizer and disinfectant spray, design seat areas that conduct to social distancing standard operating procedure, increase the amount of security cameras to provide. Environment dimension, structure will protect user from pollution, design comfortable sitting area to so users are comfortable waiting for a long time. Redesign the transit hub in a way that promotes sustainability. For the last one, economic dimension, design a better transit area to encourage people in using public transportation. Offers product placement in for advertisement, which branded goods and service are featured in production that targets a large audience. So I pass to my representative partner, Dennis Edward.
Next we have the design. Next we have the user flow and activities.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Hmm?
The screen is blank. Tak nampak.
Oh wait, sorry. Is it visible now?
Okay.
Okay. On the left and right side of the station, we have the entrance and the exits. In the middle, we have the seating area with plants around it. And on the right side, we have a vending machine that sells COVID kits and electric scooter rentals. The roof of the station uses a green roof tray system, meaning that on top of it, we have real living plants, breathing plants, so that we can provide a more fresh and well oxygenated area for the users. And also behind the green roof tray system is a solar panel that serves to power the whole station, including the touch screen and the vending machines and the electric scooter rentals. And in the entrance and exits, we have a disinfectant tunnel. So when people pass through it, they will get a disinfectant spray to protect from COVID transmissions. And next we have pictures. The ticket screen and COVID kit machine are cashless and touchless. All the people have to do is scan the barcode on the screen for their selected station. Then the COVID kit vending machine can provide face masks, hand sanitizers, and COVID self-test kits for people to keep protected from the virus. Underneath the seating area is a charging port and hand sanitizer that people can use to sanitize their hands when they're sitting down, or when they're waiting, they can charge their phones and other electric devices. On the ceiling, we have a digital interactive social distancing tracker. This tracks the distance from one person to another so that they don't get too close to one another in terms of COVID social distancing. And next we have, again, disinfectant spray on the entrance and exits to disinfect people when they enter the transit hub. And on the very right side, we have an electric scooter rental space so that around the transit hub is a place that people can use so they have free space so they can use the scooters to ride around. All they have to do is scan the QR code on the images LED that will lead them to a page on electric scooter application. Next we have the perspectives. This is for a closer view on the perspectives. As you can see on the top, we have plans to promote a sustainable and eco-friendly lifestyle, especially during COVID pandemic, where we need well-ventilated spaces. You can see at the back, we have vent blocks, so that even though there's a covering at the back, the station is still well ventilated to protect against COVID transmissions. From a different angle, you can see on the left on the wall here is a digital touchscreen app. So that's where they will be able to rent their e-scooters and scan for their bus tickets, scan to purchase their tickets. This is the e-scooter rental space and vending machine to buy the COVID kits. And there's also a trash can beside the vending machine and another LED touchscreen device. That's the end of the slide. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Group 10.
Yeah.
We hope your interesting design ideas could be a part in the new lifestyle, yeah, and well-being in the endemic era. So, to dear judges, any remarks for Group 10? You have 5 minutes. Anyone from the panel judges?
Yeah, it's well presented. Thank you for your presentation. This is
Okay,
Francis
thank
from
you.
Indonesia. It's interesting design, introducing plants in the design as well. The only concern I have is the touching screens and the vending machine. I guess it's okay, but still there's a few issues to look at there because there'll be a lot of touching there.
Yes.
So this is something to be further studied, I guess. But
Yeah.
overall, it's a good design. Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Francis. So we have another about 2 minutes to go. We can have one more remarks from the judges.
Hi, Group 10.
Okay, thank you.
My only concern is actually how actually this bus stop respond to the weather, especially being this actually in Kuala Lumpur, where we have quite heavy rains in certain time of period. So I mean, looking at the proportion of the space, I believe that during the heavy rain, basically someone that actually sit or wait at the bus stop, there is some climate factor that is not being considered in the design. So that is something that I think most probably overlooked. However, I believe having the plants, the real plant, I think is a really good things. You did use the green factor as part of the design, which I think that was the world's need. So that's my only feedback.
All right, thank you, Mr. Fahmy.
Thank you, Mr. Fahmy.
Yeah, we hope the idea will be a part, yeah, for our next generation and in the future. So thank you so much, Group 10. So next, I would like to announce Group number 1 to present their design ideas and for today's presentation. And Group 7, please stand by because you're going to be next. Group number 1, are you ready?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay.
All right.
So I
You may
will
begin.
share my screen first.
Okay.
Okay. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. So, Assalamualaikum and good morning to all the judges and lecturers and my fellow friends. So today we are from Team 1. We'd like to present our project based on the interior design in an endemic. My name is Nur Fatin Kaisara and I am the leader of Team 1. So, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so this is our first board. This board tells that we must enhance the changes happen through biophilia in an endemic where we are facing right now. So my team and I has decided to do a co-working space based on the endemic right now. Okay, so. Okay, this is the next part. So about our project, Endemic. So Endemic is a post-COVID-19 pandemic environment that we have lived right now, and it will stay with us till forever. And this is why the pandemic changed the name to endemic. So endemic is a disease that will be here as our friend, as our partner with us till the future. We have to accept and live our life and just move on and live in it. Okay. So like we can use face mask, face shield, sanitizer, and social distancing is really important right now, since that is the way of we have to live right now. Okay, in this endemic, which is COVID-19, there is some issues that probably have in the COVID-19. There are 4 problems or issues, general issues that have been selected in our team. So the first thing is, based on space, they will have a space limitation between users, because we will have to be social distancing between each other. So this will make the space limited. Okay, and then next is this is distancing between the user, which is we have to be separated for about like 1 meter between each other to socialize. Third is lack of social and life skills. Since the endemic starts, the social skills between people is very low, because we always sit at home and we don't have that social skills face to face with other people, and this is the problem that that occur right now in the world, not in just Malaysia or Indonesia, but it's in the world. Okay, and then 4th is stress, anxiety while working. So stress and anxiety while working is begin to have more. Basically, there are stress and anxiety while working before the endemic, but when the endemic comes, the stress level is rising, and because we cannot go out and work like normal working hours, like meet people, and then we cannot talk too much with them, because and then we have to be social distance, cannot go to be free. Okay, so like I just said, our team has chosen co-working space to show that how the interior design can flow in this endemic. Okay, so the process is strikes. Okay, sorry, okay. Okay. So the process of our project is between the pandemic and changes that we have to accept that we are living right now. So COVID-19 has been affect both physically and psychology in our daily life. So physically, it is more to hygiene and social distancing. Therefore, for psychology, it's more to color and stress relief. Okay, the target user for our project is worker. Yeah.
25th level.
Yeah.
I need to understand the context of the space there. Okay, just roughly, I quite like the idea of the social distancing, which is fairly well thought out, I would say. And I could see that the user materials are quite user-friendly in terms of it kind of protect the use of material, which tends to be more kata orang tu sensitive to this COVID thing. So I think your material seems to be okay. Just looking at the design, I quite like the use of this kind of saturation of the spaces there. That's basically what I can comment at the moment. But of course, I have to look into details when I go through all this. Yeah, thank you anyway for your effort.
Thank you.
Thank you, Datuk Prof. Tajuddin. Any other remarks from the judges?
Terserah, mau Francis.
Yeah,
Sorry?
so no, I had the same question whether this building is a standalone, because I thought in the beginning it's a standalone. But it's already explained on the 25th floor. So yeah,
It's
I
a
understand.
standalone.
I was confused because
Yeah.
it's the beginning when I saw the building, I thought it was standalone, and then I was wondering how do you clean yourself and how do you hygiene yourself. But as it is part of another building, then I would assume those are placed somewhere else. But yeah, again, it's I think this one is an interesting design, and I'm sure it's a big effort for you guys. So thank you for the presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Mr. Francis. And thank you, Group 1. Interesting solution on co-working space proposal, embracing the changes from the virus through biophilics ideas into the new norm and lifestyle, which could
Thank
prevent
you.
stress and mental disruption among us. Okay, so moving on, we go to the next group. Yeah, I would like to introduce Group 7 to present their work. And with that, Group number 3, please stand by. And to Group 7, are you ready?
Yes, madam.
Okay, you may start your presentation.
Okay, good morning, judges, mentors, friends, and audience. My name is Lynn, and I am here representing Indonesia, alongside with my friend Amalin, that will be the representative from Malaysia. Throughout this whole month of September, both of us, our teammates, Sal and Loretta, our great mentors, Madam Nadia and Buniki, has been working on this project, which we're going to present today. Okay. Our life has been a catastrophe since pandemic hit us a few years back, leaving not few people feeling miserable, losing the sense of freedom, anxious about the future, constantly thinking when this issue will end, and numerous other heavy feelings or thoughts. This project is about creating a lost and found zone as a way to give hope for us to stay alive in a new norm. An area for people to just stop, take a breath, and refresh. Where the sensation can be a reaction of empowerment. People from various ages and background can blend in, enjoy, and socialize in this space, breaking the barriers for city people to enjoy a glimpse of nature. Okay, next slide. In designing this area, we studied the use of bamboo, an eco-friendly material, copper, glass, types of finishes that is easy to clean and maintain hygiene. In celebrating the process, we implemented SOP that we need to practice in our daily life and start a new norm as part of us. Next slide. This design begins with the research of people's need on being close to nature and how it affects the overall human psychology. It is proven that nature can improve mental health and increase one's peace of mind and various other good benefits. This feeling is certainly essential, especially for cosmopolites. It is then followed by researching materials, COVID technologies, and design ideas that could be used for the overall space we are trying to create. Through numerous combination of ideas, resources, and discussing session, we then found our Titik Temu and invented a space of nature for people to stop by and regain energy. The broader view of this project is for us to start thinking of having a healthier life. With the constant need to move forward and be more creative in life, we often found ourselves forgetting to go back to our root, which is having a balanced life with the existence of nature, particularly for citizens. This project acts as a way to bring awareness to people of the roots of life and the ever-changing future. Our took of consideration in proposing the idea was how to provide a space, but at the same time, lower the potential of COVID-19 from spreading. In creating this space, we replace current temporary fixes for COVID into one that is more well-prepared and designed. For further explanation, my friend Amalin will help with the rest of the presentation.
Okay, thank you, Celine, and greeting to all judges and mentors and other participants. So my name is Amalin, and I'm going to continue the presentation. So first of all, we start off our design by thinking of the best layout. And our layout is made of 2 levels, first and second floor with a leisure stair sitting area. Okay, next slide. Okay, divided into 2 zones, public and a service area that fits up to 2 people. This F&B area serve drinks and easy preparation foods. Next slide. Okay, so the area is divided into 3 sections, which are disinfecting or the servicing, gathering and working area, sitting leisure area, and standing leisure area at the second floor. And then next, okay, this is our final project result. And we maximize the use of the area by using a window that can be used as a partition and the upper area as a place to simply enjoy the surrounding view. The use of roof is to continue to provide comfort and shelter for visitors. Considering weathers in Indonesia and Malaysia revolve around sunny, windy, and rainy, the weaving pattern is applied to represent both countries in the design. So it is topped with a layer of clear glass to avoid rain. And with this weaving roof, it allows light to shine through and creates a beautiful shadow patterns which add a beautiful elements to overall design. Applying an eco-friendly material, which is bamboo cladding, to the design is also a base on the consideration to represent Asia. In this space, we replace the current temporary fix such as stickers and sanitizing area into a more advanced model such as temperature detector and sanitizing gate. Okay, next. Okay, instead of using stickers, marks, we design our space with a stepping stones complete with LED lights to create distance while queuing. Okay, next. So we are aware that circulation and layout needs to be carefully considered on this design. For instance, the placement of plant at the staircase seating acts not only as plant to bring nature to people, but also providing social distancing. So there is a gap that we need to be aware when we are about to sit, and the left side of the stair is also completed with a small steps. Okay, next. So this is the overall view. Okay, next. Okay, the main purpose of our area is people to socializing, taking a break, taking shelter, grabbing small snack or drink. And our target user are working age people, students, elderly, and kids. The next. And then here is our section and elevation drawings. Okay, this is the facade view. Next. And then the elevation view, the rear view. Okay, next. And then the section view, right elevation, I'm sorry, the right elevations. Okay, the left elevations, next. The sections, next. And then the other sections, next. Okay, this is our poster as my friend Celine has been explained just now. Okay, next. All right, to close off our presentation, okay, next. Okay, this is our board as we show the overall overview project. Okay, next. Next. And this is our little journey of recap. Okay, this is the design input we have gathered throughout the discussion for this whole month. All right. Okay, that's all for our presentation. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Amaline and Celine. What a interesting design input. Perhaps we could get comments and insight from the from one or two judges.
Okay, maybe I can start it off
Yes.
quickly.
Yes,
Okay, I
Prof.
quite like the whole idea of where everything become the facade, you know, the back and the front, everything become the facade of the space, which is a very interesting idea there. And I like the use of materials where you consider the material as being eco-friendly and something which is quite sensitive to this whole idea of not where the material are more friendly, you know, in terms of this COVID things. But I think the key point I would like to emphasize is that where everything becomes a facade, and I think that's a great idea there. And congratulations, I think it's a. But of course, there are a lot of fine tuning that can be done, but it could be a very workable kind of a pavilion kind of a space actually. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, Prof, for that comprehensive comment. One more from the fellow judges.
Yeah, I found this interesting design. Like Dato said, you know, it has all four sides functioning, and it has all the different facades. And it does have screening points where you go through. There's a, you know, hand sanitizer there. But my only concern is that this has to be close to another building or another facility. Because if it has to stand alone, then it should have a toilet at least, you know. So it's different from like what's called food truck that can go around, you know, but they would find facility nearby. So this should be something like this, maybe in KLCC next to you know, where there's like a bathroom access and so on. But it's amazing work. It's considering it's about only 2 weeks of works. This is really amazing. Well done, guys. I love it.
Thank you, Mr. Francis, and thank you, Prof. Tajuddin. Yeah, thank you, Group 7. What a fascinating conceptual design proposal, which I think bring back nature and eco-friendly material for a lasting healing sensations towards new surrounding. I think it's very interesting. Yeah, thank you for that. Next, we go along with our session. I would like to announce group number 3 for their presentation. And group number 6, please stand by. So group number 3.
Yes, madam.
Here.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sharing the slide.
Okay, you may begin.
Assalamualaikum. Good morning for all mentors, mentees, and our judges. First, I want to introduce my team. My name is Ania, and my team, there are Felita, Laila, and Muhammad. Before we presentation about our design, I want to talk about our problem, site plan, and our concept. Okay, next. So our specific problem is a movement retraction among the independent working individuals that affecting their mental health. And for the process, we did some research on human behavior during pandemic and endemic and develop the mind map. We have to understanding the change in human behavior due to endemic, and we did the experiment of the form arrangement. For this project, we propose to a public space a co-working space that let the user to gather around despite it's an endemic. Next. We decide the location in the row Kuala Lumpur. The location have many attraction nearby malls, Kuala Lumpur Tower, and in the row is a strategic area and surrounding by a village. We decided to build a co-working space. Why we choosing that? Because we are now in the era endemic. It means we have to follow the healthy protocol and we have to familiar with this current situation. And a lot of different about our habit before and after endemic, such as sanitizing, wear mask, social distancing, and stay at home. We created the concept from social distancing. We name it in motion. As we know, we have to keep distance with other people. We are restricted from going into the crowd, like seeing our friends, go to work, school, and more. And movement restriction means staying at home as possible to avoid contact with other people. And then we thinking again about we cannot stay at home for all the time. We try to twisting the word of the movement restriction into the movable. In motion is derived from moving. It means we let people to move again, going out to face like before pandemic. And then we use the hexagon tool consists of straight lines and curve. The straight lines is a symbolize of structure and order, and curve is a represent connection and community. And the hexagon shape has a relationship with nature, which is according with the concept of a greenhouse. Hexagon means is collective. It means a group of individuals who work together to achieve goals. It is same with the meaning of the co-working space. Okay, next.
Okay, we have decided for make it a site. We have divided to 5 area, which is the first one is a transition at the entrance, and then working area. They have a the modular that we designed for discussion, and then multi-purpose area, relaxation area, and relaxation area. So for the first perspective, we can see that the view from the entrance that we are provide the self-service facilities. And then for second perspective, the view towards the entrance that shown the two modular of the discussion room. And then the last perspective is a view of a multi-purpose area, which is it can be a meeting area or lunch area. So in our plan, like I said before, the entrance, we name it as a transition area, and we have a sign to guide the circulation for user. We have a digital display on the both side for their scan barcode or registration for the working space. Next is shown the we're cutting a section A because we want to show the structure from the outside to the building and to the modular that we propose. So you can see here the wall, we are using a vertical garden that uses an automatic watering system to make an environment calm like that. And then for the second one, for the second perspective, view of a personal working space. You can see the flow of the user that always mind to keep a social distancing. And for the section B, we want to show the structure of the modular personal working space. And next, here our facade. And why we are using mostly a glass material, actually the glass material, we are using a smart glass that the ability to go to clear to the dark in a second with technology. And then at the downside, we show the detail of the modular that we have designed. It have touchless hand sanitizer dispensers. And then for the door, it's a touchless door that you're using your arm to open the door. And then for the framing, we are using aluminum framing. And overall, we are using the light wood HPL. And for axonometric, the material for the wall design building, which is the column, we are using a clear brick wall. And then for the ceiling, we are using a timber frame. And the wall, we are using a white antibacterial paint with a low BOC. And we have a decorate as at the meeting area, we are decorate concrete vinyl antibacterial flooring. Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you, Mohammed. That's the end of the presentation for group 3. So perhaps we could have remarks from the judges.
Okay, again, very quick. I quite like the way the space is being designed. It's quite very clear cut, and you could sense the sense of airiness of the space, which is basically what it should be about. Yeah, and it's kind of an open planning, which is good. I like the use of material. I think overall it is a workable concept. Congratulations anyway. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
I have questions regarding how to use the space. I mean, do you register online to use it, or do you go to see someone there?
Yeah, we are registered with online. We provide.
So you register online.
Yeah.
You can open the door once you register.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yes, because I mean, yeah, like the space, the design, the shapes, everything is interesting. I find it interesting. But then when you have this multi-purpose area for meeting, it depends how classified that meeting is. And other people are around this meeting space, they can listen to you. It's a small enclosed space. So it has to be booked by a company, or, it cannot just be like a co-working space or anything. I think it could be a problem in a multi-use, like co-working space. But as a space that can be booked by a company, I think it can work. So yeah, thank you for also this is again, this is freestanding, right? If it's a freestanding, then you should I don't know if there's a toilet in there or something, because toilet now, like being hygiene, is part of the most important thing during the pandemic and after. Personal hygiene becomes very important later. So yeah, that's my concern. Thank you.
Yeah, true, Mr. Francis.
Okay,
Thank you. What about Mr. Sirajil? Do you have any comments on this presentation?
Okay. I think I'm just going to add further from what Prof. TJ just mentioned just now. I believe the modular system that been used from the hexagon, I think is really good. Based on the design, I wish that actually that this project that can explore about the natural ventilation, because I can see there's a fan that's been introduced in the design. Again, that we know about COVID-19, that when you have been confined into a space, that is where the germs going to spread out. Natural ventilation is becoming a part of the natural remedies actually to avoid the virus to be spread among each other. Again, I think that I agree with Mr. Francis, where the washroom, the toilets, even though actually based on my observation during this pandemic season, some of my friends that when we do actually the observation, the post-mortem, majority actually people who got COVID-19 is through washroom, when they use actually the cubicle. So I think that is one of the main things that I believe the future will need to see in terms of design. So I think that's some things that could be explored in the design in the future. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fahmy. I think it's a very engaging design solution, by Group 3, using hexagon shapes and modular figures, for new lifestyle in everyday activities during the coming in the endemic era. Yeah. So thank you for that, Group 3. Okay, moving along. I would like to present you to our next presenter by group number 6. Okay, and for your information, we will stop and have a break for 2 hours after this presentation by group 6, and we start again at 2 with group 9. So to group 6, are you ready?
Ready, Miss.
Yes.
Okay, the screen is yours. You may start.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning to the judges, reviewers, organizers, mentors, and friends. Before we begin, let me introduce myself briefly. I'm Casey from Team 6, and I will presenting together with Aida. Today we're going to be talking about our design. The title is Tatap. First of all, I'll begin by the concept, and then I'll go on to highlight the application for endemic times. Finally, I briefly explain about our module. Tatap is a form of interaction that is currently being developed and that must be done with the safe and healthy circulation and distance. As the endemic era approaches us, we need to be able to bring people back together with some efforts towards this issue. Tatap concept project aims to bridge the gap to connect people together in the new era of endemic.
Okay, moving on to the second board, which is we have the strategy, design approach, and the process. So for our team, we have chose a loose fit space modified into multifunction space. And the target user will be the public, which consists of young adults, working individuals, children, old age persons, or disabled persons. So the concept of tatap itself is used as a form of interactions to bring people back together during the post-COVID or endemic era. So the proposal that we are proposing is that we're going to implement the new technology, multifunctions, flexibles, and also aesthetically pleasing. Moving to the design approach, we have collect some issue, which is people lack of interactions. There is also a bad mental health. Cases are still rising, and there is no firm SOP apply in stores and not ready for the endemic era. So the focus activity here is the retail, service area, sitting area, and leisure. And of course, the design feature will consist of physical distancing, cashless society, digital check-in, traffic
flow, convertible space, less human contact, vegetations, good ventilation, and also interesting form. We have chose the Chongka as the subject matter to implement the space and the system of the circulations. We use Chongka as culture markers and it represents the Asia culture. We preserve the culture, and as we all know that it is a family-friendly game known in Indonesia and Malaysia. So as you can see on the sketch below is the process of how we implement the Chongka itself into a space for people connecting. Next, please. Okay, here we have the layout plan. So the concept of this proposal is to foster a new experience of communicating that is directly influenced by movements and forms. And with this mindset, a new experience is formulated. So as shown, the layout is 416 square feet, and taken from the system of Chongka, people can enter in and out of the space by these 4 entries and exits. Multiple entries and exits will allow safe distance between humans. And there is also provide a self-serve kiosk, which located at the both edges. It represents the rumah ibu of the Chongka. So people can enter at the space and buy dispersed drinks, snacks, coffee, mobile top-ups or souvenirs to the unit, and also sanitizers, face masks. Then they can move along to the sitting area. People can sit anywhere they want and still facing each other, which relates with the concept of tatap. Then we can communicate and interact as usual at a safe distance. Other than that, there's also an animated walls, which people can experience something that is escape from the reality. It's like a moving vehicle where we can travel virtually or having a virtual live concerts and even events. We can feel the difference when entering this space. It's like a space that inspires to create. So for the materials, we have proposed a CO2 monitors built in to tell if there is a good ventilation, and there is also a built-in charging stations, which it allows less touch in the space. So as you can see on the diagram above, there is a module illustrates, shows that this model can be expanded and combined to fit available spaces when needed. So it is fit for all in the future. So this module can combine one or more model if it's needed, and it's really flexible. Next.
And moving on to last part. On the right side of the board, there is a picture facade of the module that we made. Has a height of 6 meters. For the entrance, we make it look low so that when people enter, they bow slightly to respect or be polite in every place. And this model has a lot of ventilation to avoid the spread of COVID-19, which uses the material wire mesh circle with the technique of repetition, vinyl, antibacterial grass carpet, and paint in white. The main wall structure are using insulate aluminum composite panel for it lightweight and easy to install or remove. We choose wire mesh and vinyl because easy to sanitize and support us have a concept. The reason we use white paint is because in the room there will be viewing from a projector that can display image or videos which will make it feel a total new ambience in it. Then it can also be replaced by showing cultures, virtual promotion and travel, where it could be used as a virtual part that travel to interesting place both in Indonesia and Malaysia as a promotion drive for tourism, live concert and events where the audience will be part of the event. As for the machine, which the main for buying, the user can Work it by hands, voices, and feet too. We're targeting to have less contact as much as possible. On the left side of the board, there is elevation and axonometry of the module. The walls have two layers, namely wire mesh and partition. Then for the roof, there is glass dome, a gypsum ceiling, and projector. And the floor use grass carpet and vinyl. For the dome, we use stained glass. It will be filtered the heat. And the reason we use the dome because it will reflect sound well and the sound quality can be heard clearly. Also, this module can be expanded. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Casey and Ida. What a captivating presentation from Group 6. Now, can we hear a few words from the judges to comment on their presentation?
I have some questions actually.
Okay.
I just wanted to know whether this is actually like a pavilion itself or actually inside a building.
It can be both because we proposed this model on a loose fit space. So yeah, it can be at both situations.
Okay. I believe actually this is a very interesting Nusantara narrative based on the design, which is Chongka, and then you're able actually to create a really good flow. The interesting part is actually that your team think about the future expansion. I can imagine, like for example, like this module could be created and sent to Mars. The kind of things I think which is really good. Obviously, the points whether this could be constructible, I believe yes, it could be done. The only downside that I could see here is actually the metal mesh. I believe that the exploration of the material could be explored further. For example, GFRG rather than metal mesh, because we know that metal mesh it won't actually last long. I mean, if we talk about metal, but I think GFRG, which is used a lot for new building facades, which is have better character. Let's say that if this is to be constructed for exterior purposes. That's all.
Okay, thank you for the comments.
If I may add here, I'm just a little bit worried about the rigidness of the square plan space, given the fact that you have an opportunity to create something which is more free form actually, because this is actually a freestanding space, yeah. But you have chosen to do it into a square plan, which somehow or other I find is a little bit rigid there. But at the same time, I think if it is going to be a freestanding space, there's an opportunity to really explore as much as of the ventilation outside there actually, and create kind of an open screen or whatever open ventilation that you can close and open it up. The use of this whole idea of this animated kind of a digital screen in an enclosed space, I think I don't know. It sounds good, but actually is only adding into this whole idea of being very enclosed. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you.
It's Francis again. I found the design interesting. It just have to be set in a right way, in the right narrative. For example, this is set in a very dense urban setting where there are no trees. So all the projection mapping would make sense. The immersion of being with nature would make sense if it is in an urban setting with no trees around. So that would be my input. But as a design, overall design, the interaction between the digital and the people is interesting. I was just thinking, maybe the CO2 reading is not so important. Maybe if this space can produce oxygen in that urban setting, that would be much better. So you can go there and you can breathe in good quality air, for example. And also on the opposite side, this would be a perfect smoking area. I don't know if smoking is not allowed in Malaysia, how it is there, how strict it is there. But say, for example, in Singapore, there's like a place like this where you have like this immersion, digital immersion, and then it's a smoking area. But I think it's interesting project. It has to be, it needs to be explored further on the usage. I mean, you can meet anywhere actually. People still prefer like open air during good weather. So this is a good solution with a, that sort of setting, story in the beginning that would make this project a better, understood. Thank you. But great job. I love the local, wisdom, the jangklok and everything. It's wonderful.
Thank you, Mr. Francis.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for your insight.
Thank you for the comments.
We could have one more comment, maybe from Mr. Sirajul.
I think maybe kita dengar daripada Ibu Rina.
At the moment, Ibu Rina is not available. So, it's, for this first session, we only have three of you for your comments and remarks.
Okay. Just to add further, I think just now that one thing that I did not add was actually I think the exploration of the skylight and stuff. I think that is interesting, that the treatment that being developed for the ceiling, rather than actually just to have a flat thing. Obviously, I think the exploration on the form of the flow of the space, I think obviously that can be explored further. If we take, for example, Prof. Tajuddin comments, I believe this could be actually enhanced as per his comment, and I believe this could be a really good module that can, for example, just what Mr. Francis say, that it could be utilized in various places, for example, in our region, that really respond to our weather as well. It works with within the whole culture.
Thank you so much, Mr.
Thank you, sir.
Sirajil Fahmy. Yeah, I think it's a very fascinating presentation at using Chongka as a culture makers between both country and implement that subject matter into the design ideas and solution. I think with that culture context is very fascinating. So now we have, I think we have a few more minutes before we take a break. We go for a break. Maybe we could hear a few words from the judges, maybe on the overall presentation and the students, the participants' design ideas from this first session. Just an overall insight before we go for a 2 hours break. Maybe Mr. Francis, you have your opinion? Yeah.
Well, it's well done. It's a really good job. I'm so impressed, to everyone, for everyone here. And this collaboration, I think, is very unique, and I think it should go on further. Collaboration between Malaysia and Indonesia, sharing the culture and everything, our own culture. But the effort you've made is amazing. This is 2 weeks projects. So I'm so impressed with the work. I mean, I would say very, very, very close to become professional. You analyze most of you analyze the problem well, and you're giving a solution for the during this pandemic time. So yeah, amazing work. Well done for your mentors. It is amazing. I really appreciate it. Thank you. It inspired me too. It makes me think about many other things as well. Because of you guys.
Thank you, Mrs. Francis. Thank you
Well
so
done.
much on that.
Can I say something, Zarina?
Yes, Miss Rina. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. First of all, I would like to thank you to all of the group. Yeah, there's a 5 group I saw from the first one. It's very great that Francis says this mentoring is really sangat baik dan sangat menakjubkan, sebab ini adalah kategori mahasiswa ya, dan hanya 2 minggu bekerja, dan yang paling penting adalah bekerja sama antara mahasiswa Indonesia dan mahasiswa Malaysia. Saya lihat ada beberapa lokal konten yang bersatu di sini. itu sangat baik. And then I concern juga the idea that you are presented is really great. Udah gitu solution juga amazing. Dan kalau menurut point of my view, sebetulnya nggak hanya solusi tapi prosesnya ya, some of the process of innovating the design itself itu sangat menarik. Dan yang penting tema endemic itu ya, kalau menurut saya consider your design itu memang has to be center ya. Jadi endemic ini has to be center in your idea. Tapi ya memang banyak hal yang harus dipahami tadi mengenai safety, lalu gimana caranya cuci tangan ya, wash hand dan lain-lain. Jadi safety and healthy itu sebetulnya harusnya nomor 1 karena we talking about the endemic gitu. Tapi I appreciate about the local material gitu yang kalian bersatu di dalam desain. Jadi ini betul-betul very emotional for me. Thank you ya. Good luck for you.
Right, thank you so much, Ms. Nirina. Yeah, maybe we can hear from Prof. Tajuddin on his overall view for on this first part of today's session before we go for a break. Prof. Tajuddin? I think he encountered some problem with the internet connection. So, yeah, what about Mr. Sirajil Fahmy? Do you have any comments regarding the first part of today's session?
Juanana, I think
Okay. Is it okay now?
Oh,
Is it
yeah,
okay
yeah.
now?
Prof. Tajuddin is here. Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
That's all right.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I think the whole idea is a great idea here because you're doing a project that has got no reference to begin with. So I think when you begin something from an unknown situation and then trying to find what would be the known factor in here, it's a great way to begin. It's a very innovative way to begin, but of course it's a long way to go here. But it is like the big step forward here. So I would like to congratulate the staff and the student for this effort, and I think project like this should be encouraged in the near future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prof, for your insight for today first session. Mr. Sirajul, a few words?
Yeah, I'm just about to say the same thing actually. I'm the same page actually with Prof. Tajuddin. I think this is very interesting that projects. I would like to congratulate the students and the lecturers that involved on this because I believe this is really good because it's good for our future, especially within our region. For example, like even though myself in the industry where we work all around the world, where we have to explore different culture that we're unsure with. For example, when we did actually Ritz-Carlton Mandapa in Ubud, Bali, so we explore a lot of things of their locality. We explore actually what is a strong character of Bali. There's some things that relate to the kampong. There's some character that actually you can only find in that kampong of that location. So I think that's a really interesting thing. Again, that's why I just mixed reference just now. The Nusantara narrative that I can see within this whole project, I think is really interesting. I think it's a good thing that can be actually enhanced in the future with the different subject matters. So most probably we'll see something which is interesting, something new.
Yeah, we hope so too.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr.
everyone.
Sirajul. And thank you for all the judges, Ms. Rina, Mr. Francis, Datuk Professor Tajuddin, and Mr. Fahmy for your insight or for the first session for today's program. And thank you to all the groups of mentors and mentees for this remarkable collaboration of ideas and innovation thoughts in propose a new design scheme during the endemic era. I think you did a very well. Good job. Yeah. So now we will now take a break for lunch and Zohor prayer and resume back for our second session with the 5 remaining groups at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. Malaysia time, 1 p.m. Indonesia time. So we hope to see you all soon at 2. Assalamualaikum.